Those of us that are in the oppressor class, what are we resisting? Because yes, obviously shit is starting to get aimed at everyone, but we can simply go back to hiding in our whiteness at any point. And if we're resisting a violent white supremacist government, that it's our fault. 3 out of 5 white men, 1 out of 2 white women voted for Trump. This is what the white collective chose. I don't understand, I guess for me, why there isn't more of a militant approach. Where's the rage, the anger, the organization, the training? And I'm not going to try to gatekeep how people protest, because I'm seeing in city, right? Millions of white people again showed up yesterday. And in plenty of places with massive crowds, there were no protesters that got arrested. And so when I think millions of white people out on the street, no protesters got arrested, in my mind, that means almost all, if not all, the white people stayed in line with what the cops expected, which is why I've talked about this so many times. Protesting in a way that maintains the system is not beneficial. It doesn't fucking work. But like I said, there are white people in, again, Chicago, Portland, and LA that have been expressing that collective rage, the fight for justice, the ones not giving a fuck about photo ops, the ones that will go to jail, come out, and do this shit again the same day. Kind of just put their heads down and get to work. But then we have a massive No Kings protest, often led and organized by white people that want to do a little bit, but not too much. That see the white supremacist violence that's happening, but don't want to push back too much. I mean, just look at the rules that the No Kings people put out. They want to make protesting a safe space for white people. And I try to say this multiple times for whoever went out, good on you. Appreciate you getting out. What next? What did it do? The last No Kings protest, after that, not shit changed. Like I said, things just have continued to escalate. And so I guess my encouragement, challenge to other white people is everyone you went out to meet yesterday, I hope you make connections in which you can truly start putting the work in on a community level and understand that this is not just a dangerous government or, this might affect my fucking 401k. Like this, we are seeing white supremacist violence being enacted from the top down in real time every fucking day. And so I don't understand the blowing bubbles, the giggling, the laughing from white people, I guess. The statement, joy is an act of resistance, to me, applies to Black, Indigenous, people of color, immigrant families, those that are actually oppressed. But I can't find expressions of joy when I know white people as a collective are responsible for where we are at right now in the height of extreme violence.
Enforcement of non-V, taking pride in being completely and utterly ineffective just because it makes you feel morally superior to be non-V, is the definition of performative activism. Because all you are doing is performing. You have 10 million people and you are completely and utterly ineffective. And more importantly than that, you are the ones that are saying, hey look how non-violent we can be. Do you want a fucking cookie? I don't know what it's gonna take to get it through these people's fucking heads. But the fact that all of these people are coming together to promise the king that they won't do anything to actually disrupt the king's orders, that they will work with the king's guards, and that they will stop anybody who's trying to do something effective. When I look at this, I see people reinforcing the king's walls, demanding civility in the face of families being ripped apart and sent to torture camps in El Salvador. Imagine if all of these people got together and they were all wearing black, faces covered, and instead of marching peacefully behind the fucking cops, they set fire to the corporations that have destroyed small businesses. They refuse to go to work to continue to enrich the people that fund the kings. And you sit there and pat yourself on the back for enforcing a strategy that has proven for decades not to work. There was a video on social media of the Boston protest, and in the comments somebody said something along the lines of, oh look, where No Kings initially started, the Boston Tea Party. Do you know why the Boston Tea Party was fucking famous? Do you know why it was effective? Because they destroyed the tea. Property destruction was what made the Boston Tea Party worth anything. They were mad about the taxes, so they destroyed the product, the revenue stream for the king. And then someone commented below that and they were like, no ice in our tea. Congratulations, guys. You really stopped fascism with that fucking quip. Good job. And when I pointed this out, they were like, oh my God, don't you know that humor stops authoritarianism? No, it doesn't. It has been since 2016 that we have had Trump. We have had no shortage of jokes about how stupid he is, about how ugly he is. We have not stopped joking about him. Has it made him less powerful? No! I'm so sorry, but a well-delivered monologue from a late-night host is not going to stop fascism. If Hillary Clinton, one of the most violent, horrible in the entire world, endorses your method, endorses your protest, baby, you're doing it wrong. Y'all are not resistance. You are a dam. You are enforcing a reality where real resistance can never burst forth, can never do anything. And it's so frustrating the way that y'all pat yourselves on the fucking back for nothing. We are so fucking cooked. And we're cooked because of you guys. Because of your tone policing, because of your civility, because of your insistence on non-violence and your aversion to anything that like actually threatens the very kings that you like are protesting against, apparently. 10 million people and nothing coming out of it. Good job.
This video made my heart sing. I felt very seen. I knew a woman, she is a therapist. Actually, I've known a litany of therapists of this way, but toxic positivity is dangerous and you're seeing why I am abjectly against it. People are going to lose their lives, but I want you to know they're expecting collateral damage in this situation, and they don't care. The fact that you care, you're already gone. The civil rights movement wasn't just people marching in nonviolence. They stopped spending money. You need to implement no buy until 2028. That means you only buy what you need. You cancel the holidays. They are not real. This is all commercialism to create disassociation and distraction for you to spend money. What do you do with your time? You evolve and enlighten yourself. You sharpen your biggest weapon you have, which is your mind. There was this movie, it was a part of Captain America series. It was about Hydra. That was about the party after World War II. They went to Argentina. They went to America. They went in many places where they received immunity. These are their descendants. If you're thinking, I am the only one who's going to be affected by this, you're wrong. They love you fuzzy people. You cry the most when the fight hasn't even begun. They have an extensive plan. I have been a fly on the wall in a lot of groups, and they have an extensive plan. To all the people, I was in neurodivergent groups, and I left. You were warned. You didn't want to listen. You preferred disassociation. Rosemary Kennedy, you should have been well aware of that woman. There's many of you who don't know history, and you find yourselves to be smart because you have degrees and you know what they taught you versus being actually enlightened. Education is not what it used to be here. These people have infiltrated the medical industry, literally. Names like Gottlieb and other names, descendants of what happened after World War II. The fact that you don't even know origin names and people's last names to know and connect these dots, that's how I know. It's too late for a lot of you. You might say, well, why aren't you included in that? I have a pocket full of sunshine and a soul full of carnage. We are not the same.